Well, it might be hard to believe, but Rachel Zegler is celebrating online the end of her career in Hollywood. Yes, folks, she is claiming that Snow White is the #1 movie in the world. She's taking a bow. But now studios are vowing never to work with her again. Today, we'll tell you why she is headed for Broadway, even as she makes her way into a new level of narcissism, celebrating Snow White when things are definitely not all right with Disney. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and yes, we can still say that, welcome back to the channel that continues to change hearts and minds simply by telling the truth with a capital T each and every day. 4 videos every day, 365, and on leap years, yes, bonus content for nada. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to dive into Rachel Zegler celebrating her ruination, consider clicking that like button. If it happens all over the nation, why, shoot, we'll send this video out across the YouTubes to everyone far and wide. All right, folks, panel of excellence, here we go. Take a look at this. It's out of That Park Place yet again. A fantastic job by Marvin Montanaro. Rachel Zegler proudly touts Snow White box office and tone-deaf victory lap. A victory lap on Instagram as film crashes and burns immediately disables comments. All right, here's what it says, and this is going to be fun, folks, because something new has happened. It says, if there's one thing we've learned during the long and chaotic lead-up to Disney's live-action Snow White, is that Rachel Zegler has a remarkable talent for making things worse. And now, even as the dust settles from the film's shockingly weak box office debut, Rachel Zegler has re-emerged, not with humility or grace, but with a self-congratulatory Instagram post declaring, number one, we're number one movie in the world, Apple Snowflake. Yes, Snowflake is about right. But looky, what we have here on Instagram. The link to this photo or video may be broken, or the post may have been removed.
So the post is, I'm looking at the post right now. It's still there. She might have made it so that you can't embed it, which means I'm going to have to go back into this article and put a screenshot in because she did immediately disable comments. Clean
up aisle Snow White? I think so, but that's all right because over here on the New York Post, we've got the original. It's by Connor Sermonte. It says, Zegler celebrates Snow White being #1 movie in the world despite sleepy box office debut. That's an understatement. All right, let's go down here. Here it is. Here's Zegler's post. Look at her. She's got her makeup. She's got her hair clipped. She's taking a selfie. Rachel Zegler took to Instagram on Monday, March 24th to celebrate Snow White and its opening weekend. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Snow White failed to meet opening box office expectations. Oh, yes, I would say so. And here is more of her Instagram posting where she's so happy coming out of the trailer. She is just so gleeful. And again, posting that she's number one. But for some reason, they're just not excited to share it with anybody anymore. It's gone. Snow White hit a dismal $42.2 million domestic box office opening, which is lower than the headlines read just 48 hours ago. And it says this isn't just tone deaf, the way that she's handling this, it's theatrical delusion. It says, let's be clear, Snow White may have topped the box office this weekend, but it did so in the weakest release frame of the year. It had virtually no competition, and even then the film fell below projections, underperformed just about every major Disney remake in recent memory, and became a case study in how not to launch a $250 million tent pole. All right, panel, I got a theory, and I can't wait to hear what you think about it. I don't think it's Zegler doing this. I think it's a publicist. I don't think, and I could be wrong, and I don't want to defend Zegler on this, but I think that they had a plan for how they were going to market this, and by golly, it's going to be the #1 movie, and so we're going to declare it. I think Disney's got publicists in charge of her social media accounts now. I don't think she's doing it. I don't, we're going to get to another story a little bit later that's even, it's bad. It's really bad. But I think it's the publicists, not Zegler, because I don't think anybody trusts Zegler now to post anything on her own. What say you?
I could see the logic in that, but I also think she is definitely arrogant enough to do this.
As her career is crashing. We're #1, baby.
This is the equivalent. I mean, like, it is not saying a good thing for Snow White that it's the number one thing in the box office. It's not like Snow White's the number one movie in the world. It's a glaring like damnation of the box office itself of Hollywood. It's actually Snow White is the number one movie in the world.
This is like Tanya Harding bragging that she has 2 workable legs. Hey, 90s kids, you'll get that reference.
Actually, going back to what you said about this possibly being a publicist, I've been thinking about the original statements that she made out of D23 in 2022, and that was really just after the filming, the first filming of Snow White had wrapped. And the more I think about it, the more I think perhaps the creatives involved with Snow White actually gave her those talking points. Because of the time, because of the era, because of coming off of, the election of 2020, 2021, going into 2022, the people involved may very well have thought that their minds and their thoughts about the direction that they were going with this version of Snow White actually aligned with the majority of people in this country. And they wanted to get it out there that this was no longer 1937, that that original Snow White was dated, and we're not going to do the kiss, and we're because that's problematic. And so I've thought about that, and I could be wrong, and maybe it's just the way that Rachel Zegler comes across in saying it. It could be her own thoughts, but she was so young at the time, and so naive coming into Hollywood, so much so that she's like, oh, that's Hollywood, baby. You could be cut and all that stuff. It's hard for me to tell whether it really is her or whether it was a publicist saying, make this. Either way, obviously, I think the majority of the country felt those comments were absolute cringe, and so much so there was so much backlash that they had to literally, create a Frankenstein movie. They created a whole another movie and slapped it into their original one, and you can tell when you watch it. But it's really interesting to see, like, the Disney creatives. I just don't think they have their heads on straight. They're trying to go with what they think the public wants, and they have no clue. They just don't have a clue anymore.
Well, I've got bad news for them. Folks, by the power of journalism, yeah, we fixed it. Sorry, Zegler. Sorry. Marvin Montanaro has updated the article now with a screen cap of the Instagram post. I'm so sorry, Zegler, that we have screen caps. You can't stop us. Yeah, we've got that, and it's up there on the screen. Great job, Marvin. This is Zegler, or her publicist, posting out there, number one. And you'll notice too, for someone who is the lead in a number one movie, only getting 107,000 likes in 18 hours. I mean, at that point, not even your followers are clicking along with this because they're like, man, this is disturbing. This is getting weird.
Apparently, the movie has a worse rating on IMDb than Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh.
Snow White devolved. Yeah. Check it against Garbage Pail Kids. Let's see how it's doing.
I honestly think that with the Rachel Zegler situation, this one is going to go down in film history. This is something that agents will be calling back to on a frequent basis about why the social media age was actually a bad idea for Hollywood to engage in. I'm reminded of stars like Chris Hemsworth, who actively does not want to be on social media. Scarlett Johansson seems to be of that inclination now, where she talks about how she does not want to get on Instagram to promote the movie. That's just not something she's going to do.
She flat out refused when Universal tried to get her to go on Instagram to promote Jurassic World.
And I think it's the right call. Someone like Scarlett Johansson probably benefits from having a little bit of distance between her and the audience. I get it. Marianne got more fan mail than Ginger, but at the same time, a lot of guys still appreciated the distance, the fact that they probably couldn't get with Ginger there. I think that there is something to be said for the mystery of Hollywood, and Hollywood has done such a poor job of trying to make themselves authentic. And it's like, no, we don't want you to be authentic. We want you to be movie stars. We want to be these people, or want to be with these people, or want to be friends with these people, being actual friends with these people, or whatever people want to view the parasocial relationship on social media as, that's not good for the box office. Getting to know your favorite 90s action movie stars' thoughts on the geopolitical things that have happened in the United States and in the Middle East has not been good for the brand image of people that used to be the box office draw. So I think that Rachel Zegler is going to end up being the sacrificial lamb for the rest of the industry to understand that Instagram is not actually your friend if you are a movie executive. They view it as cheap advertising. What they really need to do is just pay for normal advertising and just go back to having some controls put on this, training people to not run their mouth and not put their social media opinions out there. Acknowledge that the new media and the old media, there are some differences there that are good for both of those industries. One can be good while the other exists and does the thing it does well. Make movies well, and don't hire the social media people to do the movie. That's a bad idea.
Very, very well said. And I want to go to this as we wrap this part of the discussion up with the question: is Rachel Zegler's career over for at least 5 years? Let's play the video, folks. You may have seen it before, but this is Zegler before Snow White came out, and of course, it has flopped. So we'll see if she is onto something or perhaps very much not. Here we go.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Ah.
Oh, that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I'm just going to point something out. Having actually been to the Louvre, there is not a line to see Winged Victory. Winged Victory is at the top of the stairs on the way to the Mona Lisa that people actually want to see.
That's a great point. That's personally, I like the Egypt area in the Louvre. Okay, but is Zegler's career over for at least 5 years? Is she going to have to go hide in Broadway? Is that the only way for her to move forward?
Yep.
At least.
I was gonna say she's 0 for 5 on movies right now. She has 5 bombs to her name.
Again, she only got this role because they thought that West Side Story was going to be a smash hit, and then and then got to remember, like, yes, I do think that she is a product of the Disney media team machine. They thought it was going one way. She is what they made her, but she was also that way to begin with. And she's got to take some lumps, but we know that, especially in Hollywood, unless you get in trouble for exposing something that they do, you will always be forgiven. So she'll be put on ice for 5 years, 6 years, and she'll wind up on some random FX TV show where she'll get an Emmy nod and everything will be fine again.
Was she talking about the Louvre, or was she talking about people waiting in line for the loo? Because over there in Europe,
the old water closet, eh? Hey, by the way, I'm going to get in the very strange position of defending Zegler for a minute. Zegler's not the only reason this movie bombed. Disney made plenty of mistakes. Peter Dinklage got in their heads, and that's how we ended up with these dead-eyed, weirdo, mutant dwarfs that are called minors with an E, not an O. There were huge mistakes made with this movie. And Zegler was put in this position by Spielberg and by Disney. She has not been, nor is she currently capable of handling the spotlight in the way that serves her best and serves the studios best. That's their fault for picking up a 17, 18-year-old kid and thrusting her into this position where she has made mistake after mistake. I guarantee you, and I don't know who said this, maybe it was Jonas in a prior show. I guarantee you, if you went back and you talked to the people who went to school with her or who were in her theater group with her, I'll guarantee you that there would be some of those who would say, yeah, when they picked her, I just knew this was going to be bad. So
I'm going to give Marvin credit for that one.
Yeah, no, they're somewhere in New Jersey is an entire group of kids that went to high school with her in the theater department who are laughing and on a text chain with each other being like, serves her right. It's like I said, I think I made this point before, it's Cartman land. It's, you know, like it's so much worse because he had his dream and lost it.
But I will say that there's plenty of blame to go around, and Zegler is someone who should have not, probably, at least without a smart publicist right by her side every step of the way, been put into this position to do the things that she's done and to harm Disney this way, but Disney's done plenty of it themselves. Helping Hollywood produce a product that you want to consume, that's what we do each and every day, folks. And this time, it's time to, well, say goodbye. We know, but don't cry. No, for we will have more videos on the way. We love to bring those videos and that information. And by the way, if you'd like even more, consider going to the Patreon page. It's www.patreon.com/WDW Pro. It's where we put out stuff exclusively there that we simply can't put out in other places for whatever reason, be it because it's too spicy or because, well, perhaps we're working to corroborate it. But you can find out things early and first over there. Folks, we surely have had a great time spending time with you. Consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today. 3 days of